Steven.
Yeah.
Was it ever a doubt?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a huge one actually.
There was a lot of doubts.
I
Tons.
know. But with this team, really, is there ever really a doubt?
That's why I was a 10 going into game 7. The confidence level was at a 10
Oh man.
because just felt like it just felt like I didn't know Steph was going to do that, but it felt like it was a
He was
game for
incredible.
the where the experience was going to get the was going to come out on top. That did.
It certainly did. It certainly did. And I'll just tell you right now, I am going to be a absolute fucking wreck for this next series. But we'll get to that. Let's talk about today. Welcome everybody. Just your opinion, man, or should I say, just your Warriors post game show, man. Stephen Langford, Derek Papa. Glad to have the Ernies with us. What a game! We were all nervous going into the game. I'll admit that I was. It was weird. Today I woke up and I back in the day I'd be like a nervous wreck going into a game 7 for the Warriors. Always was when they had the series against the Cavs or the Rockets, and I was walking around Lake Merritt and I would run into other people. I was wearing, of course, whenever I work out, I'm always wearing the strength and number shirts that we would get at the Oracle
Right.
Arena during the playoff run. So walking around in that, I'm running into other people that are wearing the same shit, and everybody's I'm just walking into people. I see a bunch of Warrior fans walking around Lake Merritt, and I like turn around. And at one point, I'm like, "Is everybody walking?" Because we're all like nervously waiting for this game to start. I was like, "Yep, pretty much."
It's I don't really get that emotional for games anymore. I don't know. Like today, I was yelling a little bit, but like there's I don't know. I'm kind of simmered off with that. There's been so many of these little series before. It's kind of funny. It's you forget that this one is the first round. It's like how long has it been since they've had a first round like this one?
Since the Clippers back 10 years ago.
Yeah, that was the last one.
Yeah. But I say that because I didn't feel the same nervous energy that I have in years past. Like honestly, it was like a cool like calming of like, you know what? If this is how it ends, this is how it ends. I appreciate what they've done with the 4 championships, and if the Kings are going to knock us off, so be it. But it didn't happen. Thank God.
Yeah, but then you do not want that though with the next couple of rounds, whatever the opponent may be. Obviously, they got the Lakers coming up here
Oh
and
God. Okay.
starting. I mean, it starts on Tuesday, and you got a day off between every one, so it's going to be quick. It's going to be boom, 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 boom. Like you don't want this to end with LeBron and Anthony Davis. You do not.
That's
And Austin Reeves, the Austin Reeves thing. Oh my God.
that's the thing
Ugh.
is that I would have been fine with a loss today. I can't fucking handle a loss to the Lakers, but we'll get to it. And I'm not going to call them the Lakers the rest of the series. For the time being that we're talking about them on this podcast, they are the LA Fakers to me.
Okay.
That's the name, LA Fakers. And your boy Joe Spadoni's got to be public enemy number 1 now in the Bay Area.
Feel bad for that guy. He
Yeah,
is gonna. It's not gonna
he is.
be.
He
He might.
is an obnoxious Laker fan.
Yeah, if well, I don't know. I feel bad for him going into it, but if the Lakers win, then I feel bad for the rest of the people at that station.
Yeah, but
Because
let's talk about the.
he will be wearing his Kobe jersey.
Oh
He is going to be
God.
going off. Austin Reeves beat Steph Curry. He's going to be doing that sort of thing. It's going to happen.
And I knew a lot of Laker fans when I was working at NFL Network, and God, they're just the worst. They're just the worst fan base. So that'll be something in itself. Got think
Mhm.
about like in the early 2000s. Do you remember this, Steven? Like the Warriors were so bad, and I'm sure Joe is like this. A lot of kids in the Bay Area switched to the Lakers because they were cool, and the Warriors, were a great timeout. They had a Donald Foyle, and that was it.
Mm. A lot of people growing up for me were just Kobe fans, just straight up Kobe fans. Everyone had a
Yeah.
Kobe jersey. Everyone had that number 8.
All right, we'll get all to the whole the preview with the Fakers in a little bit here, but let's just talk about what happened today. Warriors game 7, Sacramento Kings. They're all ready to light the beam. They stay alive in game 6, kick the Warriors' ass, and today it was the opposite of that with game 7. I thought that it was a very evenly contested match in the first half. I thought that Steph was great the whole game. 50 points in a game
Yeah,
7 is the most ever in a game
yeah.
7. So Steph Curry was unbelievable. Klay Thompson, didn't play great in the first half. I think he was, what was his numbers in the first half? I have it right here. If I
He
look
was
at my,
over. He
He
was
was
like, or 1 for rather.
1 for 10, 0 for 4
Yeah,
from three. So he was not
yeah,
great.
yeah.
And
Well, Clay was in a
GP2,
weird Clay was in a weird spot though. He was in a spot where it's like it's you like aggressive Clay and you like him taking these shots, and then you get to him getting to the free throw line, and then they show the graphic where he's 1 for 9, and everyone's like, "Oh, holy hell, he's 1 for 9! He's only made one shot." Then you remember, oh yeah, it was like that little floater back in the first quarter. So it's like, damn, Clay, what happened to you? It was a bizarre situation there.
yeah, and then GP2 was kind of all over the place with his fouls and the
No,
tip in. It was a good effort in the first half. Just the Kings had the lead and the Warriors were not playing their best ball, and then things just
right.
changed in the third quarter. The Warriors were unbelievable on the glass, and I can't say enough good things about Kevon Looney. This guy has been unbelievable. Like when we think of the biggest names through this whole playoff run, I know I brought this up before, but his name is never brought up, and it should be now. From last playoff run to this one, he has been a different player. It's always been Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, Kevin Durant. You got to put Kevon Looney in that conversation now in the post Kevin Durant era, because from last season with all of his 20 rebound games to this series against Sabonis, he was a one man rebounding machine in this game today. He gets 21 rebounds. He is the first player since Dwight Howard to get 320 rebound games in a series. I think that happened in 2008. So I
That was a
cannot say
2008. That was late 2000s Magic Dwight Howard. That's not just Dwight Howard. That's like Dwight Howard when he was Superman Dwight Howard. That's
yeah.
like that's what he was on the way of like, oh my God, can we talk about this guy as being one of the best big men to ever play? Like that's the type of Dwight Howard he's being compared to
The
right
good Dwight Howard, not the soft, as Kobe would call him, the soft Dwight Howard.
now. Yeah, exactly.
But I thought things changed in the third quarter. Warriors were unbelievable on the glass. I was getting a little antsy with how many free throws were missed, just because I thought that
Yeah.
was keeping the Kings in the game. And then the Kings usually in these series that playing the Warriors, whenever the Warriors would have a lead in the third quarter, the Kings, Mike Brown does a good job. They did it during the broadcast. They showed him mic'd up and saying, "We got to go. We got to play fast." They're turning it on. We got to answer, and that's what the Kings did towards the end of the third quarter. They started to get a little gas going. They didn't take the lead or anything, but they were keeping it a little close for my liking. And then things changed in the fourth quarter. The experience really showed in the fourth quarter. Steph Curry was unbelievable. The Kings were settling for bad shots. They were leaving, Sabonis wide open. He can't make that close mid-range shot. De'Aaron Fox started missing shots. Malik Monk didn't have his best game. Experience showed, and I will say this before we get into anything else. Major props to the Kings. And usually in series, you come away with the Warriors and either you gain respect for your opponent or you lose respect for your opponent. And throughout this dynastic run, the Warriors have faced many different teams like the Rockets or the Oklahoma City Thunder with Russell Westbrook. And after all those series, I never really respected any of them because I didn't like their antics or any of that shit as the series went on.
Right.
And
Right.
I didn't respect the Grizzlies a year ago because I thought all of their bullshit was too much with John Morant saying that was it Jordan Poole yanked his knee, and even the
Yep.
coach wanted to think about, hey, maybe he should get suspended for that because he was trying to go
Right.
after what Steve Kerr said about Dylan Brooks. I gain much respect for the Kings after this series. I know that Draymond and Sabonis had their thing, but I thought they handled themselves with class and dignity, and they were a good opponent. And it's mainly because of Mike Brown and the respect that he has for the Warriors, the respect that he has for Steve Kerr. Like I said, if they would have lost today, I would have been okay with it. I'm glad they didn't, but I have much respect for the Sacramento Kings going forward. They're going to be a force in the West for years to come.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everyone they got on there, De'Aaron Fox, obviously leading the charge since 2017. Like I remember even trade rumors with him, like before, and it just never happened. He stuck with them. So De'Aaron Fox, like much respect to him. I do like Sabonis as a player, but he absolutely got locked up by Kevon Looney. And though he scored 16 in the first half, he was rattled, man. He was totally rattled, and I got a lot of respect for him. But you're going to need a better postseason performance from him if they want to do anything going forward because Looney in the rebounding, that played such a huge role in this series. But continuing on the Kings, though, Malik Monk did not have as good of a game today as he's had previously. Don't really know what happened with him. They're that type of team that it's just they're they're up and coming. They're good, but they need like another piece. And we kind of hinted at, we kind of hinted at like Trae Young being compared to Damian Lillard a little bit in the last podcast, which is how it's going. But the Kings kind of remind me of the Blazers in that they're young. They got great guard play. They got a big man in Sabonis who's better than any big man the Blazers has had. I know Nurkic is great, but um, I just think they're kind of one piece away from where they're truly contenders moving forward. But this is the type of thing that Giannis was talking about after their series. He doesn't look at it a failure. It's just a step to success, just another step to success. And that's what it is for Sacramento. So Kings fans, they should have a lot to look forward to in the future because they're going to get a lot of wins in the regular season. And this upcoming postseason next year, I think they'll be back. So yeah, that's what we'll see for sure.
Yeah, I think they should light the beam on the season because it was a success. Um, I know that they were the third seed and they lost to the sixth seed, but teams grow, and this was their first playoff appearance. They are very reminiscent of the 2015 Warriors, and I shouldn't say the 2015 Warriors because they won the championship, but they remind me of the young and upcoming 2013, 2014 Mark Jackson Warriors, and then they got better, and they will get better. They'll have more playoff experience. They took this championship team to Game 7 in the first round. They are going to grow from this, and they're going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And the Warriors, should prepare for them in the future. So tons of respect to the Kings. Maybe add more, veteran presence off the bench. I don't know about Harrison Barnes, going forward. I don't know what his contract situation is. He wasn't really great today.
No, he wasn't good.
But they're a team, to be reckoned with in the future. Like, when John Morant was, earlier this year was saying, I don't fear anybody in the West.
Right.
As a Warriors fan going forward, and I still don't. We'll see what happens with the season with the Warriors. I still think they're going to make some changes. They're the team I look at, along with the other great teams, Nuggets, Suns. But they're the young and upcoming team that can cause some problems. So, yeah, man, I thought that the Warriors handled business in the fourth quarter. They were, amazing. I thought that the Warriors were going to win the game, even though he did not have a great game. Klay Thompson hitting that three and getting fouled and having a 4-point play go into the fourth quarter is all the momentum they needed. And Klay will get his mind right. You best believe, I don't know how this is going to be for him playing in a series against the Lakers, his hometown team, against his dad's team. And I'm going to say it already. Michael Thompson's going to be on both radio stations in the Bay Area and going to say, oh, the Lakers probably going to win this game in 7. I see it happening in 7. They're LeBron James, even though my son's on the Warriors, I'm going to take the Lakers to win. That's my best Michael Thompson impression. But it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot for Klay, and hopefully he rises to the occasion. But yeah, I thought it was a great performance all the way around.
It felt like through this game, though, they had players who were doing all the little things correctly, just being aggressive, not letting them get too many open shots. Like they had some that they just could not knock down. But like Wiggins is kind of the poster child for that. I know he was smoking some layups, but this dude was like, he brought a lot of energy. I thought he was crucial, especially in that third quarter. Like when they were consistently getting offensive rebounds, Wiggins was a big part of that. Hell, DiVincenzo was even a big part of that too. They were doing a lot of the little things. It just so happened that they weren't scoring and they weren't making their free throws. I thought the game would have looked a lot different by the end of the first half had they actually knocked down a few open shots. I thought, and then in the third quarter, I thought it could even been more. Like when they were up by like 8, I'm like, this team should be up by 20 right now. So I just thought it was all the little things that they were doing, and the Kings really weren't. There was no rhythm to the Kings game at all. And not to mention, I mean, we've barely even talked about Steph right now. And I know we're going to talk about Steph, but for the Kings, their star did not show up. Like Fox did not look like the De'Aaron Fox we saw in Game 6. He did not look like the De'Aaron Fox we saw through the first 4 games of this series. Like he didn't have it tonight. So they're just you could just tell the Warriors were just the better team. And as soon as Steph started making shots, that's when it started getting a little bit more demoralizing as the game went on for both the team and the fans.
Steph just ripped the hearts out of everybody in the
Yeah,
arena. Whatever,
yeah, he
whatever,
did.
whatever he said to the fans, he's like, "You guys aren't ready for this shit." You know, I mean, it's
Dude,
true.
he said in slow mo, he said we're not finished. You could tell he was staring at the crowd saying we're not finished yet, and he did it with like the little what do you call that? What do you call that thing
Snarl.
that you do with the snarl with the upper lip? Yeah, you do that thing. We're not finished yet. You do
Yeah,
that. It's kind
he
of like
went. You remember the Mac Dre mural with Steph Curry on it? Kind of looked like that.
yes, yes. God, what was that movie where the dad's trying to teach his son how to fight, and you gotta like when you're talking trash, you gotta like put your lips up. I don't know what that
Oh,
was,
I know
but
what you're talking about, but I can't remember. One of the Ernies will tell us.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, Steph was incredible. From his shots to his layups, the and ones where he was getting fouled and just like swooped it in. It was incredible. It was a incredible performance by Steph Curry. One of his best playoff performances. He's had some more memorable games, but to score 50 in a game 7, just I hate saying this shit, but it just adds to his legacy and all that stuff. And it just proves that he is one of the best. Like, you could say what you want about LeBron and everything and Kevin Durant, but Steph Curry's right there as one of the best players of all time. And he's one of the best players
50
in the game right
points.
now. Yeah, yeah, he's incredible in his own way. He is, we've seen a lot of great NBA players in our time, but I don't know, he just transcends the game. It's hard to describe. He adds excitement that I don't think a lot of people, you know, relate with basketball in a way. Just the way that he shoots, the way that he moves. He's likable. He's the face of the NBA, in my opinion, in a different way than the way that LeBron is, or the way that Kevin Durant is. He is relatable in the sense that he's not super tall. He's unbelievable, and I'm glad that he's came into his own since being drafted in 2009. He's amazing, and he's one of the best players of all time. He's the best shooter of all time, and he keeps proving it year in and year out.
Man, I don't know which game it was. I think it was game 3, maybe, but like even just the shots where he's getting fouled, but somehow is making it as he's in like the middle of a squat and somehow is making a shot. Like he tonight, he did it. He did everything though tonight. Um, like it really wasn't. It really wasn't charged by the three. Like it wasn't spearheaded by his 3 pointers. It was really set up by his work around the rim. Everything that he was doing so smooth. It's just this man, like Steve Kerr is basically telling him, "Hey, we're going to play you for the rest of the game. You get as much rest as you possibly can. I'll sit you here during timeouts." That's what he was saying towards the end.
Yeah.
And after Malik Monk, we played that clip in the last pod. After Malik Monk goes out and says, "Yeah, we were running up and down the court with them a little bit. They're a little bit
They're old.
older. They're old. We're younger, so we had a little bit more life." Steph was running these dudes up and down the court, just like he was taking over, and he's doing it at 34, 35 years old, however old he is.
Yeah, no, it was incredible, and this kind of takes away from the whole road woe narrative. I think they won 2 games on the road in this series, and I think they're locked in now playoff wise. They needed a little reminder on Friday night with Game 6. We'll see if they're really focused. We'll see how they match up against the Lakers. I think they have to be for this series. This is a totally different animal, and yeah, I don't know how
All right,
much
look,
more you want to talk about this game, Steven, but
I'll say this for me. Like, I'm just gonna say this. Like, I, as far as my sports watching, like
mhm.
through my life, I would not say basketball was at the top as far as sports that I watched closely. Like at first, it started baseball, and then it started football. Like I watched baseball and baseball as much as any kid growing up, and the same with football too. Your mind can only focus on a game for so long. You know what I mean? After a while, it can kind of wander. In basketball, I didn't truly get into really, I guess I'd say until Steph got drafted. So that was in 2009. And that's when I started really paying attention. And, it was like when the team had, like Corey Maggette and Ronnie Turioff starting, it was those times. And David Lee was kind of coming into his own. And it's like he had the greatest mid range jumper of all time. But since then, like Steph is the greatest that I've ever seen. Like, just the way that he's able to do this year after year, and he's a four-time champion. In the way that he does it, I think it's a disrespect. I hope when people talk about him later down the line, they don't talk about how he only made threes because
No.
as his career went on, it was his ability to do everything. Of course, the three-pointers his number one shot. I mean, that like one of my favorite plays of this game was that little step back he hit on Keegan Murray.
Mhm.
He's just like it's like Keegan Murray was dropping back a little bit, getting ready to guard him at the rim, but gave him a little sliver of space, and Steph's like, nope, steps back, hits a three in his face. But just the way that he's been able to do it, and the fact that as he's gotten older, his defense has improved, and he's just become an all-around great player, and the amount that he gets covered, like it's just I don't know. He's the greatest that I've ever seen, man. And he just puts up 50 points in a game seven when everyone thought they were going to lose. So I don't know, can't say enough about that guy, man. It's unbelievable.
No, it's unbelievable, and we'll see. What else happens with this team if they get more healthy. If Andre Iguodala, well, what's up?
Sorry, I got. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just I'm perusing Twitter a little bit, trying to get some updates or whatever, and just in case there is anything. But NBA on TNT just posted this
Well, yeah,
of
like
Charles
okay,
Barkley.
let's get into that a little bit. So the
Oh, it's
Warriors
so
have had
funny.
their beef with Charles Barkley since the get go when he called them a pretty jump shooting team. I don't know what his deal is. Even after 4 championships, this guy hates the Warriors for whatever reason. It
Yeah,
was last year.
he went so far as to say the Kings are going to beat the Lakers in the conference championship. That's what he thought it was going to
No, no,
be,
no.
or he thought they were going to the Western Conference
Yeah,
Finals.
he thought they were gonna win today. Well, a couple days ago he said that they were gonna kick the Warriors' ass, and they
Right.
lost. Then last night we should have known it was the kiss of death for the Kings. He said they're gonna win that series, or they're gonna win that game, and they're gonna go on to beat the Lakers in that series and go to the Western Conference Finals. And that's not gonna happen now because Sir Charles Barkley decided to ruin that for them. So if Kings fans are upset with anybody, it should be Sir Fat Ass.
Wow.
Now
I don't
listen,
know. I love it.
I
I
I
love it.
I love Chuck, but sometimes it's just a little too much. Sometimes, like last year with hating on San Francisco, just the guy. I wish he was a little objective. Like I love his style on TV with kind of being laid back and saying what he wants to say. But he hates the Warriors. It's a fact. He hates them for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that he does. There's no doubt. You know what? That I've just realized it's really like the series has gone downhill for the Kings ever since Barkley said this. Pull up Game Strong. Ever since
Them
he
young
said,
boys, them young boys coming. Them
ever since he said that,
Was
I,
Shaq laughing in the corner?
I'm pretty sure that was. I'm pretty sure that was in the middle of the Kings and
Sometimes
actually
I
no, that
wonder.
was actually never mind. That was actually after the Grizzlies and Lakers. Damn it! No, that was
Okay,
in the
never
middle of
mind.
that
Well,
series.
but
So never mind.
sometimes I feel like Chuck just says that shit to get a rise out of Shaq, and he just like looks to the corner to whatever producer, and he's like, "Oh, did you hear that?"
Made me laugh so hard. No, the show's still the best, and it just sucks that the Warriors are on the wrong end of that. But then you also have Shaq, who is the greatest big man of all time, and it's not just
Oh,
or one of the greatest big men of all time,
yeah. Come
whatever.
on,
And it's
Kareem.
and it's just and it's just not like and it's not just hey, um, I we're centers, so will we just naturally have to hate. It's by nature that we hate these younger players that shoot all these threes, these small guys that run around. But Shaq, he calls Curry the greatest player that he's seen in a while, the
Yeah.
greatest player of this generation. Like he pays their respect. So it really is just a Chuck thing. It's not a show thing.
Oh no, 100%. Um, and yeah, at whatever. I'm sure Chuck will go on to pick the Lakers, but the Fakers, but who cares at this point? Just going back to Kevon Looney real quick.
Yeah,
I it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable what this guy has turned into. I
yeah,
know we brought it up before, but just for him to find his place on this team, to be the dominant big man, and he was an afterthought with every other big man acquisition from Damian Jones to who else did they draft? They drafted Jordan Bell. They
Wiseman.
acquired Wiseman, of course, and then there was DeMarcus Cousins. They always, Looney was just an afterthought. He was always on the team, but no one thought he would be great. And even though he was a first-round pick, and he's just been unbelievable. And I don't think they win the championship last year without him. I don't think they win this series without him. That's for damn sure. He's been pivotal, and I don't have enough good things to say about Kevon Looney. He's been unbelievable.
I was kind of tired though of the idea of like Looney being he just like, well, also, gosh, I'm having trouble getting my thoughts in a line here, but I want to start with this first. Kevon Looney, I did not know where his place was on this team like after 2020. I was kind of like, especially once they drafted Wiseman, and during even that 2021 season. He set out with the goal to play all 82 games, but even then, I remember he's getting limited minutes. I don't see like, okay, he's getting 7 rebounds maybe a night, but like, how impactful is he really? And then he has that postseason run, and then he did what he did through the regular season this year, play again all 82, and then he's done this in the postseason. Like, it's not just that he's come on lately; it's been the past. It's literally just over the past season in the playoffs. Like, really, that's it. I did not think that he'd be a 20 rebound a game in a series guy, but he is. Like, whenever we're talking, like, I'm very interested to see how it's going to work against LeBron and Anthony Davis, because he got the better of Sabonis, but I do think next series is going to be a lot harder as far as the big men that he has to face. And Sabonis was clearly rattled, and he's cat food here. Rattled. Oh no, that calls the cat. I forgot about that. That's
Look what you've done.
Stupid idea by me. But and then I also want to say, I think, I saw something or heard something. I think it was from Jeff Van Gundy, where they're like, oh, the age factor has gotten the better of Sabonis. Like, Kevon Looney's just a veteran, and he has that veteran presence. They're almost the same age. Like, Sabonis has been in the league since 2016. Kevon has not been in the league that long. Oh, here she is. Yeah, I shouldn't have rattled the thing. Damn it. Sorry, Derek. Anyway, I'll just feed you a little snack. Gotta get the cat out the way. Sorry. This damn rattled. I blame Looney for that.
You thought you were so clever with that Sabonis rattle thing, and then
I was so
totally backfired in your face.
Yeah, and then the cat gets the treat. But anyway, he manhandled him in the paint.
Yeah,
like that offensive rebound when he made that offensive rebound when there was like 2 other guys around him, including Sabonis.
It popped right in.
Pushes him and
yeah. It was a foul on Sabonis. Yeah, it was.
And I keep on going back to the Rodman thing, where he talks about the science of rebounding and how Kevon Looney clearly has a PhD in rebounding, just like Rodman. Like, man, can't say enough good things about him.
No, you can't. And just going back to Klay Thompson real quick. Yeah. I'm seeing him right now as I'm watching Warriors post game, and he doesn't look. I mean, I'm sure he's happy they won the game, but he doesn't look too thrilled because he probably knows he did not play his best game today. And I still have faith in Klay Thompson. I know last podcast we were talking about, what's his future on this team. He wants a max contract. I don't know if he's going to get that. It probably won't. But I do believe that when he is at his worst, he eventually gets out of that. He's not going to keep spiraling into, terrible shooting nights. I think he's going to play up to the Lakers. But also just goes like there's been times where in playoffs, games where Steph Curry has carried the team and Klay has not played well. And I think that's the best situation where your star player is the one that carried the team. And then the next game, you realize you got to pick your shit up too. So I expect Klay Thompson to be on point. Jordan Poole, for how horrendous he was in game 6 on Friday night, he was a little bit better today. He only scored 8 points, but he didn't force shots. He wasn't doing as bad as the last game. So hopefully he comes into his own for Tuesday's, game 1 against the Lakers. And God, how about them having home court now in a series already? Like this is
crazy.
this is what I'm saying. Like, it's beneficial to the Warriors, and we have just unbelievably great, series in the second round. You got Celtics and 76ers. You had Heat and Knicks. The game one started today, and Heat stole that game, but Jimmy Butler looks a little injured, so we'll see if he plays game two. The Suns and Nuggets played last night, and Steven, I think you were a little disrespectful to the Nuggets because they look damn good.
They did.
Yeah. On point shooting. I mean, like, they look like the best team in the West right now. The Suns kind of got to prove it to me a little bit. They have the most talent on paper, but right now the Nuggets are proving it. So they'll be the hardest team in my opinion. And then you got this series with Warriors and Lakers, Fakers, coming up on Tuesday. And this is going to be huge. Like, the Warriors have been in some big series throughout this playoff or throughout this dynastic run. I would say this is the biggest non-Western Conference / NBA Finals series that they're going to be in because it's LeBron, it's the Lakers. If you know the Warriors' history with the Lakers in the postseason, they played against each other in the playing game a couple of years ago. That was the game where LeBron got poked in the eye and still made the shot, and that sucked. But that's not a playoff series.
He looked like there was one where JTA like barreled through him, and he acted like he just like LeBron looked like he was out of a war movie with the way that he reacted to it. My God, the play-in game was terrible.
Yeah, not a good game, and they didn't have Klay Thompson. It was a different Warriors team, not as good. Steph Curry had a great season that year, but yeah, their season ended the next playing game against the Grizzlies. But different teams now, 2 years removed, and the Warriors' history against the Lakers in the postseason. The Lakers have beaten the Warriors 6 out of 7 playoff meetings, and the last time that these two teams played in the postseason was 1991 between Magic Johnson and the Run TMC Warriors, and the Lakers won in 4 games. Back then, it's the best of 5, so 3 games won it. And Tom Tolbert and the Golden State Warriors lost to the Magic Johnson Lakers, and that was the last really good run for the Lakers as they lost to the Bulls that year. So it's going to be interesting.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. So kind of a little bit of history here.
Kind of a little bit, and Warriors fans and Lakers fans do not like each other. I think that Lakers fans view this whole run by the Warriors as fake. Kind of like, who the hell are you guys? You guys have always been the little brother to us throughout the course of history, and now you're going to act like you're a dynasty, a franchise. You're on our level with the Celtics. Fuck out of here. That's how Lakers fans view the Warriors. So I am going to be way too intense for this series because I hate the Lakers. I loved watching that Winning Time show a year ago, and I respect their history and everything, but goddamn do I hate them. And I hate LeBron, and I hate the whole thing. So this is going to be a little too much for me, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. This is I mean, the Warriors and Kings fan like little battle that they had over the past week and a half. I mean, that's kind of new, but what it is with the Warriors and Lakers, it's actually going to be pretty funny though, because a lot of people they're not big fans of both Warriors and Laker fan bases. So I've already seen a couple of tweets like this is the 2 worst fan bases going against each other.
I mean, I kind of understand that because there are some elements of Warriors fandom, like the new fans, the ones that just hopped on the bandwagon recently, the Twitter fans that annoy me too. So I can understand that. But just as far as on the court, no. Just as far as on the court, we mentioned about it last podcast, Stephen, where you was saying, how come we're not seeing a lot of, Jonathan Kuminga? And I think he's going to play in this series. And I think you're going to see Anthony Lamb in this series. You may even see JaMychal Green in the series because they need to get a little bigger because you're going to play LeBron James. You're going to play Anthony Davis. Who else they got off the bench that's pretty big? They made a lot of additions at the trade deadline.
Rui Hachimura.
They got D'Angelo Russell. They got Jared Vanderbilt. Or is it Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
Vanderbilt, yeah. So yeah, they changed their whole team, and I want to say they have the best record post trade deadline or post All-Star break. And they're a different team now. They won the championship a couple years ago in the bubble, and I never was really that impressed with that team. I thought that if that playoff season was played under normal circumstances and not in the bubble, and we didn't go through the whole COVID thing, I thought the Clippers would have beat them. I thought they were a better team, but they ended up winning that championship, and the Lakers really haven't been right since. They beat the Warriors in that play-in game, but they lost to the Suns. And then last year they didn't make the playoffs. They fired Frank Vogel and they bring in Darvin Ham, and now they're a different team. And they kicked the crap out of the Grizzlies. So the Warriors have their work cut out for them, and it's going to be interesting. I'll tell you what, right now, I don't want to hear praise and buddy friendship with Draymond Green and LeBron James in this series. I don't want to hear, post podcasts and the Lakers are beating the Warriors and hear Draymond go, well, that's why, LeBron's the GOAT and I can't wait to join him in LA next year. No, I don't want to hear that shit.
You're going to.
No positivity. This is wartime. Like, it was fun between the Warriors and Kings, and no disrespect to the Kings, but there was no really any history there. Like, there was, but there really wasn't. This was the first time that Warriors fans and King fans could talk shit to each other. Warriors and Laker fans have hated each other since the dawn of time. So I don't want to hear any, praise from Draymond Green to LeBron and all that stuff. We don't need that right now.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Lakers, Warriors fans since the beginning of time. They showed it in 2001: A Space Odyssey, right at the beginning of the movie. They had the Neanderthals figuring out they could use tools so that they could beat each other up. And meanwhile, you had Lakers and Warriors fans arguing on the side since the beginning of time. Literally,
since the beginning of time, Stephen. I don't know. I think that it's going to be fascinating and fun, and just nuts. The whole thing's going to be nuts, especially when. I mean, we know the history with LeBron James and the Warriors. They faced off 4 times in the finals. Warriors got the best of them, 3 times. That lone one still eats at me. And this is what LeBron wanted to do when he came to the Lakers. He wanted to play the Warriors, not in the finals, but earlier on. And they're a comparable team right now. This is not going to be an easy series by any means. I'm kind of nervous, and I can't take them winning this series at all.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Can't even fathom it. Don't even want to bring it up, to be honest.
What's hilarious is watching my mom watch LeBron. I've never seen anyone dislike LeBron as much as my mom does.
Come on.
I don't know what my computer's doing. Hang on.
Have you watched games with me?
Yeah. No, no. Not with LeBron on the other team.
Yeah, you have. We watched final games together.
Did we?
You didn't see me.
Maybe I tuned you. Maybe I.
You didn't see me yell at the. You didn't see me yell at the Cavs fan at pick 6.
I don't remember that.
Game 3, 2017. Kevin Durant makes that shot.
Yeah.
And there was a Cavs fan dressed in all LeBron shit, and I just went up to his face and said, "Yeah, yeah." And his girlfriend was just laughing at me, being like, "You're an idiot. Like, why do you care so much?"
I was also 23 years old. There's not a lot of memories from those times.
True.
It's hard to remember specific details at that time. But my mom though does not like. I'm LeBron. She's gonna call me and then just complain about him just nonstop. It's gonna be a lot for the week.
It is going to be a lot, but it's going to be good to have some memories. I'm glad Ernie brought it up. One of the shining moments in the Warriors-Lakers playoff history is Sleepy Floyd is Superman. That one game they won, and of course my dad was on the call, and it's a memorable game of Sleepy Floyd. But besides all that, it hasn't been good. So they need to, despite the fact that the Warriors have accomplished so much during this run, Lakers fans are not going to give them respect. So now it's time to shut them up and take it.
It's a big one.
I know.
Big one.
Let me look at this Laker team real quick, because I know some of the players. I've watching them with the Grizzlies, but they've made so many additions. So they got obviously LeBron James, Jared Vanderbilt, Tristan Thompson. God, I forgot about that. Yeah, he gave up TV
Yeah, but
to join.
he doesn't even play though. Rarely.
Also, he's just the Kendrick Perkins, just on the bench.
Yeah, he's just kind of sitting there.
They got Malik Beasley. That was part of the trade too. Mo Bamba. Forgot about that. Scottie Pippen Jr. Well, that's awkward. Dennis Schroeder, Austin Reeves.
Scottie Pippen Jr.
Rui Hachimura. He got traded at the deadline too. Austin Reeves. I've seen this guy play, and he's fun to watch, but he just kind of reminds me of. I mean, I know it's going to sound like the other white guy, but he just kind of reminds me of the new Caruso on the team a little bit. But he's a solid player.
That's exactly what he is, and he's got a very unfortunate nickname for these times.
What is it?
These times we're living in. He's a number 15, so kind of like Karolenko. He's AR-15.
Gotcha.
Why is he called that? Why is that nickname being used right now? But anyway.
Yeah, true. And we also got, of course, he's on this coaching staff, Phil Handy, because that is LeBron's guy from back in the Cavs days.
Isn't that Guru's guy too?
That's Guru's guys too. Phil Handy. He'll probably be on this week.
No doubt.
I can guarantee it. Phil Handy will be on with Steiny and Guru.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, Steven. Should we pick this series?
Yeah, of course.
Before we do, let's give the schedule. I believe John Dickinson's all over NBA schedules. He's been really good about it. He was the first to tell you that the Warriors. And
I got it right here. You
got it? All right, let's pull it up, sir. Pull that up.
Pulling it up.
Yeah, JD's been good about the whole series thing. Oh, we got a big jump. Okay, so Tuesday night, of course, 2 days from now, 7 o'clock on TNT. I think it's going to be Brian Anderson and Stan Van Gundy. Then it goes to Thursday night. It'll be 6 o'clock our time, so a little earlier. Okay, we'll deal with that. Not as bad as 5 o'clock. And that's going to be on ESPN. I'm assuming that's going to be Mike Breen and Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. Saturday night, you got Sacramento. Wait, Sacramento? What is this? Oh, okay, I see. This is the hypothetical. So then it moves over to LA. Okay, gotcha. So then Saturday on the 6th, the day after Cinco de Mayo, it's going to be at 5:30 our time on ABC. Maybe that probably will be probably Mark
That'll
Jones
be the Breen. That'll be the Breen game.
Yeah. And then
the second game 2 is going to be the ESPN game where we can hear Steph Curry's floater is pure.
That Mark Jones.
His floater is pure.
Steph Curry is in his office right now. He loves using that line. So yeah, Saturday will be game 3. Monday will be game 4. So both those games will be at the Crypt. So they'll be those games. And then that game will be on TNT. And then 5, 6, and 7, Monday will be game 5. Game 6, this is a big jump, will be Friday, the 12th. Oof. Don't like that. That's a lot of... Oh, wait, no.
Every 2 days. It's every
you're
other
right,
day.
Actually. Sorry, my schedule thing is so off. Okay, so it goes Saturday to Monday to Wednesday to Friday for game 6, and then it ends on Sunday, just like today, if there's a game 7, and I'm assuming that's going to be ABC and everything. So, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Should we pick this thing?
Boy.
All right, let's do it. Bring the music in. Now. Yeah. All right, Steven, it's simple. Warriors, Lakers. Starts on Tuesday. We know the history. We know how much the fan bases hate each other. We know the history with LeBron James. Arguably 2 of the best players in the game right now, Steph Curry and LeBron James. How do you see the series going? How many wins? Or how many games, and who wins it?
I see the Warriors 1-7. Going to return to Chase Center for Game 7 on Sunday, whenever that is, probably Sunday afternoon. The Warriors are going to take this 1-7, and they're going to advance.
I'm probably going to say if it goes 7, it's going to be the same like today. It'll be a 12:30 tip, because that, for whatever reason, is the best time for NBA ratings. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that for the magnitude of the series, and of course it's going to go 7. Just all the hype around it. It's going to be so just fucking crazy and everything between all the hype with ESPN in the morning, and this is going to be a big deal. So I'm with you. And I don't know if I like the idea of the Warriors playing in 2, game 7s in their first 2 series of this playoff run, but it is what it is. This is a much harder playoff run than a season ago, like we talked about. Even though the travel was more of a bitch last year, it's easier this year, but it's going to be tougher with the opponents. So yeah, I'm with you, Steven. I'm going to take the Warriors in 7. I don't think this is going to be an easy series at all, but in the end, the Warriors will prevail because they are, between this Laker team, they are the more playoff-tested team. So I think that Steve Kerr gets the better of Darvin Ham, and I think that they go on to the Western Conference Finals.
Oh my gosh, they're showing the graphics up on it right now and everything. It's going to be a lot. I don't really have much other analysis than that right now.
Well, that's the thing too, is just, God, that's just seeing every day, First Take, whoever the hell. This series is going to get chippy. There's going to be moments where I'm sure whatever debate show the next day is going to say, like, Steph Curry is washed, LeBron's the king. It's just get ready for, like, true sports fans that don't buy into all the bullshit stuff. Just get ready for a lot of nonsense. It's going to be hectic and irritating and all that shit, but it's going to be fun basketball at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's always good. It's all nonsense. It always is, but that's what comes with it, though.
True. Should we do a little pop culture catch-up?
Oh, sure.
Anything you've been watching lately, Steven?
No, nothing new. What? Last night we watched a Boston Strangler movie with Keira Knightley doing an American accent.
Keira Knightley. Was it good?
What's that from?
Jack Sparrow, the Lonely Island song.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She was great in it. It was overall a great movie. Kind of depressing, but it's another one.
Well, yeah, Boston Strangler.
I love those investigative movies, though. Where they all kind of it's all based on like interviewing people, asking questions, and all that. I love that. So Boston Strangler, I give it a recommend watch. Oh, okay. And I also started watching Jury Duty
with Pauly Shore.
No.
Oh.
I don't watch anything with Pauly Shore. Jesus Christ.
Have you seen the Goofy movie?
Yeah.
And you've watched a movie with Pauly Shore.
That's true. Cheddar. But
it's the Leaning Tower of Cheese.
Jury Duty is the show on Amazon Prime.
Sorry, wait. I'm not going to stand for this snobbery of Pauly Shore. Have you seen Encino Man?
I'm not going to stand for this fandom. Let's not act like Encino Man was a great movie just because Brendan Fraser and Kui Hui Kwan were reunited. They're like, oh,
look at you saying his actual name.
Yeah, It's like, oh, we were in this movie Encino Man together, and it's like, did we remember? The reason that no one remembers that is because the movie sucked.
Okay, Steven. Listen, Mr. 90s nostalgia that watches everything from back then. Don't say it sucked. It was just from a different time.
It's a terrible movie. I remember thinking the first time I watched it, this is a terrible movie.
Hey, stop squeezing the juice, okay? Or wheezing the juice. I fucked up the line. I'm sorry. Encino fans are going to be upset with me with that one.
But Jury Duty, I watched the first episode, and it is basically a movie or a show where they created.
I still don't know what this is. This is not the Pauly Shore movie.
No, it's a TV show, and what it is, it's like a documentary. It's a mockumentary, except there's one guy who actually thinks it's real. There's one guy who thinks he was called into jury duty.
So it's the Joe Schmo show.
Court case. I guess. I've never seen the Joe Schmo show.
Oh, it was a brilliant show back in the day. It was a reality show with actors, but there was only one real guy.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So that's exactly what it is. And James Marsden's in it. And the real guy's like, hey, you're James
Jack
Marsden.
Lame.
I know you. And then he's like, yeah, it's really me. And it's really good. So I got to keep on watching it. But shout out to Mauser for that recommendation.
I'm
BB,
thinking of
stop scratching the box.
well, that's on you, Steven, for rattling the Sabonis
Bonus Rattler.
treats. Stop it! What are you doing? You're Jesus.
Give her another treat if that gets her away from the box.
Have you been watching Dave or Digman?
Haven't watched any new Dave and have not watched Digman.
Oh, I highly recommend Digman. It is goofy as hell. It's right up my alley, and you would love it because you're an Andy Samberg guy.
Yes, I have not watched it though. I need to.
It's hilarious. Dave, this last episode, very weird, but great performance by Gata once again. This guy should be getting Emmy nominations and wins. He's incredible for a guy that doesn't have acting experience. He's unbelievable.
Yeah. Okay, I got to watch the rest. The next one's coming up.
So last night, I caught up on Ted Lasso, and I will say that the newest episode was probably the funniest of the season so far. Have you seen the latest one, Steven?
I did, yes.
Where they got the ropes around their junk?
Yeah.
So I watched that, and for whatever reason, then I was like, well, shit, I got nothing else going on. So what is on Amazon Prime? What are the things I could watch? And I realized that I have never seen the movie Hoosiers. Have you seen it?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Watched it. Okay. Like not to be the same as you and thinking that like I understand like it's very close to people's hearts and it came out at a different time. I didn't think it was that great.
It's not good.
No, it's just
not good.
It's a movie about a bunch of white guys playing basketball.
Yeah, and Jimmy Chitwood.
Yeah, he hardly says anything. I could give a shit.
Yeah, it's not a good movie.
No, and then poor Dennis Hopper
like
loses his assistant coaching job. Come on.
Yeah, brutal. I don't know. I don't get the appeal of it.
I wasn't a fan, and after that, I'm starting to go to bed and helping myself ease into sleeping, and then I see that Kicking and Screaming is on. You remember this movie with Will Ferrell?
Oh yeah, of course.
Classic. And I forgot how funny it is because just the concept of Will Ferrell telling little children you should break the other teams, like the other players, you should break their clavicles. It's just probably something you couldn't do today because people will be like, oh, that's terrible to teach kids that. You can't have that in a kid's movie. It's just hilarious. He's yelling at Mike Ditka to get him a juice box. Great movie. It's hilarious and it's totally spot on with, dads that get too riled up with coaching their sons. So I thought to myself, I watch movies or shows from Ted Lasso to Hoosiers to Kicking and Screaming about 3 different coaches, and between Ted Lasso, Gene Hackman and Hoosiers, and Will Ferrell and Kicking and Screaming. And I gotta say, the best coach out of all of them, Will Ferrell. And I'll go as so far to say this: Kicking and Screaming, better sports movie than Hoosiers. How do you like that? How do you like that hot take, as you would put it, Steven?
I don't know about that one, but
just a better enjoyable movie. Like Kicking and Screaming is just a better movie than Hoosiers.
Well, I mean, it's either get the ball to Jimmy Chitwood or get the ball to the Italians. Which one?
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
I totally forgot. He kicks a kid at one point, and the referee goes, "Did you just kick a kid?" He says, "No, I fell down." Just the whole concept to me is hilarious. That he's just yelling at kids and just yelling at the parents and everything. It's just like beautiful comedy. Just very funny. And one of my favorite lines is he's in line at like the ice cream shop or something, and he says something to one of the people that work there, and he's like, "I thought we were friends, Derek. My name's Andy. Your name is Liar because you lie." Just little lines like that made me laugh.
I didn't expect that. I did not expect that, but here we are.
Yeah, it's just me coming in with takes. I'm telling you. Yeah, I hate using that word, but Kicking and Screaming, better than Hoosiers.
All right, that's how we'll end the podcast.
That's how we'll end it, Steven. Anything else on your so-called mind?
Nothing else on my so-called mind. How about you?
That's about it, man. I'm glad that the Warriors took care of business today. I'm going to watch some hockey playoffs now. Big Game 7 between the Rangers and Devils.
Yeah, well, that's coming out tomorrow. Game 7 now, Bruins Panthers.
Bruins Panthers. Even though the Bruins had like a all-time regular season. I think most
That they did.
points.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a huge one right now.
Look at us breaking down hockey. And then later tonight we got the defending champs, the Avalanche, taking on the up and coming Kraken. Just breaking it
Look at
down.
you.
Yeah.
Eclectic.
I don't discriminate when it comes to my sports. Although, yeah, there are certain things.
You definitely do.
I cannot wait for this series to start. It's going to start on Tuesday. So, should we say Wednesday, Steven, for a reaction show?
I'm down.
All right, let's do it. Ernie's, we'll see you back then. Jesse, possibly. Anybody else that wants to come by and listen to this podcast and the stream and everything, feel free. And I will say this, we haven't done this in a while. If you like this, like and subscribe, do the thing, smash the button, whatever the hell people say. We actually had a pretty good month in April. I think it's the most downloads we ever had in a month. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Thanks to all of you out there.
Yeah, the two people on the stream.
All done without my microphone. There we go.
Yeah, maybe we look for that, Steven. That'd be nice.
I need to find the damn adapter. I can't find it.
Yeah, I know. You keep saying that, but you've lived in this place for like a month now, and
yeah, month and a half.
You know, to be fair, I've been living in my apartment now for a year. There's still shit that I have in boxes. So
to be fair, I also broke my shoulder 3 years ago, so that also hurts.
3 years ago? You mean like a couple weeks ago?
3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get over it. All right.
Yeah.
Fakers, Warriors, Game 1, Tuesday. Damn. Congrats to the Warriors. Props to the Kings. And this week's going to be hectic. So until Wednesday, Steven, say what we always say.
Just your opinion. Man!